How's it going, guys? Alright, after seeing Microsoft's E3 press conference, I waited to see Bethesda's. Now, Bethesda's had some sort of 2-hour weird delay for some reason, and there was no explanation given. But some people were hoping there would be some big surprise because of it, and that didn't happen. But that being said, Bethesda had a very interesting conference. Bethesda's conference was kind of like a sizzle reel, and it was presented in like a classic cartoon style presentation. It was really weird, but very interesting. Alright, I'm gonna say basically, they just talked about several games and some other features, and honestly, it was all actually pretty good stuff, so I'll just go through it. They announced that Fallout 4 and Doom are getting VR modes, and I don't know if they're both getting physical releases or not, but Doom is gonna get a physical release called Doom VFR, which means Doom Virtual Fucking Reality, which is, yeah, that's an amazing name, perfect name in fact, and I'm looking forward to it even though I don't have the VR visor yet from Sony. I want to get one, but I will admit the cost is preventing me from it, but I'm definitely going to pick this up. They announced the Creation Club, which is a new program where it's going to introduce, it seems like, paid mods, so modders could basically charge for their work. I admit, it's an interesting idea, and I just don't have much to say about it because I don't deal in mods very much. Like, I don't really deal with somebody's fan creations, but it does look cool, and it could have some very interesting benefits. They revealed the Switch version of Skyrim, which is going to have motion controls with the Switch. It looks interesting to say the least. It definitely looks cool. Now, that being said, like, the game is older, but they're adding new features to it, so the Switch version is definitely going to be interesting. And probably something definitely worth picking up. Dishonored is getting new 2 DLC packs. Now, I've never honestly played Dishonored, but it did look cool and the DLC does look interesting, so another positive. Alright, something that definitely got me excited. Now, I admit, I have not really played much of The Evil Within. I do have it, but I just haven't really had the time to play it. But they announced the second one, and it's coming out on Friday, October 13th, 2017. Perfect launch day. And honestly, I bet Friday the 13th is wishing they had done the same thing, and I honestly don't know why they didn't. But that being said, yep, we're getting a solid horror game on Friday, October 13th. After that, they revealed Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, and I admit, I haven't tried the first Wolfenstein game from Bethesda, but this actually does look surprisingly good. I gotta admit, it caught my attention. It's coming out, I believe, on October 27th. It does look good, and I'm honestly impressed that they're releasing 2 big horror games in the same month, but I guess Bethesda has very high confidence in both these titles, and they both do look really good, so good for you, Bethesda. Oh, one last thing I almost forgot to mention. They did talk about Quake Champions. I admit, I don't play that many online competitive games, but this one does look really good and really fast-paced. It just sucks that it's not coming to consoles. I mean, I get why. They want this game running at very high speeds, very high frame rates, and I get that consoles probably can't deliver that, but I admit, I wish they would come up with a version for consoles, because this one does look really good, really fast-paced. Alright, overall, Bethesda's conference, it was basically a sizzle reel. Like, it had an interesting presentation, and all the games honestly seemed like they were pretty good. Like, I really didn't have any complaints in that department, but at the same time, it almost seems like they didn't even need to present any of these at E3. Like, they could have just presented this on Sony's stage or Microsoft's. Like, they didn't really seem like they needed their own press conference. But that being said, it was still good. Like, I really don't have many negatives. Like, I wish maybe they were presented, like, there was presenters to talk about some of these games a little more. But overall, I mean, it was a good conference. It was just not really anything amazing, but at the same time, it was still good. So I'm going to give Bethesda's E3 conference a C+. I think it's fair. Like, there was really nothing really wrong with it, but at the same time, there was nothing amazing or excellent. It was just good games and some solid release dates. But that's really about it. Like I said, it doesn't really seem like they really needed to do a conference. They could have just showed these games off at Sony's or Microsoft's or Nintendo's press conferences, but it's still very good though. Like I said, I liked it. It was entertaining. Maybe they showed, maybe the 2-hour delay was unnecessary, but other than that, like, it was a decent conference. Alright guys, that's my end of my discussion on Bethesda's E3 conference. I will talk to you guys later. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.